Hi, welcome to the channel and to another video vlog. Now, when I started this channel I wasn't going to do really many vlogs, but I just feel the need to do a vlog. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an update on the, for those that are interested. For those aren't, you can just switch off obviously, the archives and how they've been getting on. Well, I'll hold my hand up, not too well, but then again, considering the amount of stuff there is to move, etc., I suppose not too bad either. Now the problem is, when all this stuff was moved, it was never moved in order. Now some of it wasn't in order, in all fairness, but a lot of it was some in order, and that's all got muddled up and jiddled up. It's in a right mess. Not my helpers' faults really, we just need to clear the room. So we've got lots of things, all this is all coming down, all this is going to go. I mean, this is all going to get cleared and everything, because this is going to become my sort of new office, as it were, if you can sort of call it an office. And anyway, so I've been putting stuff up into the loft. There's some shelves fitted in there. Now these metal shelves are going to go up there as well. Now these are going to be sort of adjusted, cut in half basically, so we can get them actually in there with the height. And really I need those shelves because there isn't going to be enough room. It's as simple as that. The stuff at the moment is quite easy to get to. I'll come and I'll show you actually what it's all about, how I've got on. I mean, you may look and think, well actually Andy, you've not got very far, and you won't be too far wrong I suppose, but anyway, there is a lot to do and not a lot of time to do it in, because I'm trying to sort of get, doing the book stuff and also keeping up to date on things like social media, which is a necessary evil. Now I'll tell you a little story about that in a bit, and something which is a bit nasty, and somebody was doing a bit of a stir in the pot, I think, as some people do. But a little antidote before we go and see the loft bit is some my niece, her partner, parents have got a caravan. They've been caravaning for many years, and I mean they're in the sort of 80s now, but still fit enough to go caravanning, which is good. And they bought a new Lunar Quasar Foot 6.2 in about 2012. They'd had an Adria before that. Had been strong Adria owners, and they'd actually been the Adria Owners Club. But anyway, they got a Quasar and been very pleased with it. Last few years has been the old damp readings have been coming up. The van is stored outside in all weathers. They've used it a lot. It's been used a heck of a lot. So in the summertime it's always on the go. Anyway, the engineer came and said, oh, this van is really damp and it really needs repairing, and it's going to be a big repair job. So they said, well, might be an idea, we've had it 10-12 years, might be an idea to cut our last van and get a new one. So I think they were looking at new ones, and the trouble was, of course, and I've discussed it before, is that vans are getting wider and wider, and I believe the eldest affinity for 2025 is actually going to go to 8 foot wide. Now 7'6" was the widest really at one time. 7'1", 7'2" is I think what my Ranger is, and their Quasar 462 was 2012 model, and they need that narrower width to get it down the drive. So they've really been struggling. They've got a 2-berth and washroom, pretty lightweight, and they've struggled. So everything's been a bit too wide, just literally an inch too wide. So the service guy said, well, I know there's a Challenger for sale, Challenger Sport, it's 2014, and it's in good order. So anyway, I got asked a bit of advice on it, and I said, well, they did a few problems on 2013s, 14s of water getting in down at the lower skirt, but a lot of that was sorted out, and I'm sure the dealer have checked it, it's given it a warranty on it. And the dealer came up, it's got blown air heating, etc. They were told at first it was Aldi heating. I said, well, it won't be, because if it had been a Challenger SE, then it would have had the Aldi heating and a few other bits and bobs. It's got the Truman blown air heating, which I think is a fantastic heating system. Still maintain that. And also it's got the obviously alloy wheels. It's got the solar panel on, which was only 40 watt, but it's still a solar panel. I suppose up to a point you could upgrade it to 100 watt solar panel if you really wanted to. And also it's got an exterior main socket as well, so actually added that on as an extra. But I said there's one thing that the dealer didn't put on there actually. It has got ATC on. And the following year, I think 2015 or 2016 definitely, they took that off. So it's got the ATC on. The only other thing I probably would have been a little bit sort of miffed about is it hadn't got the GRP size. That didn't come for another year. So it's got the flat, nice aluminium size, a good tough aluminium size, and the van, from what I've seen in the pictures, in very nice order, inside and out. Anyway, cuts long story short, they'd had a look around, went back to the Challenger again, and the guys bought their van, did a trade-in. Yes, they haven't got a terrific amount for it, but it's going to need some money to repair it. He's going to then resell it back on again as a repaired van. Maybe to a trader, I don't know, but they pick it up next week. So they're fitting the mover on it for them, taking the mover off their old Quasar, put it onto the Challenger, and they're really tittle pink with it. And I think Challenger's a great van. The 480 Sport, the Sport range was good. It was lightweight. I think it's about 12 something kilos. Excuse me. Maybe a little bit lighter than that actually, off the top of my head, but it's a decent spec, so they can't complain. They've got plenty of bits on there. They've got the sunroof in, of course, where of course the Quasar didn't. They've got the microwave and all that, which of course the Quasar did. But anyway, at the end of it, they're really looking forward to getting in that van. So it's like my friend Mark at Caravan place said, prices have gone down on used vans. Yeah, but also the trading price has gone down on yours, so things aren't, it's not cheap to trade your van in like it used to be. I mean, I think I traded my Britann Series 6, so it was the last of the so that's 2007. Got it new, and we sold that a year or two later, and we got it 10.5 for it. The Ranger GT60, we had quite a few bits and pieces that Bailey added it to it for me, and I think we ended up paying about £2,000 out to change the van after a couple of years. And the Ranger was decently spec'd as well, because it had microwave and everything in there, TV aerial and fly screens. It was a GT. The base Series 6 had limited spec on there, and you don't see many of those around, including that also had a one-piece front window. Not that there's anything wrong with the one-piece front window, but that was the lightweight, and they didn't basically produce a lot of those. The GT6s it took on, and I prefer the GT60 over the Series 7 Pageant. One of the reasons was because the Pageant had then been made into 7'6" wide, and I just didn't like the interior of the Pageants anymore. The teak wood effect and the mustardy coloured banding on the lockers just didn't do it for me. It just felt a very dated van. And the 7'6". So anyway, cut a long story short, that's the top of it. Let's get on up to the other part of the archives, and I'll quickly show you up there. Right, here it is. You're probably going to say, what you've done, and you'd be quite right. It is a very slow process. Now, I'll just take you up here. I don't know if I showed you this before. I probably did, so forgive me if I've showed you that. Is that we've got the LED strip lights up there, which really make a massive difference. And I've also fitted them on that other side as well. And the reason being is because obviously all that side is going to get used for storage. yeah, so also domestic storage as well as my archive storage. Now, as you see, there's lots of stuff here. There's Caravan magazines. I've only started just getting those brought up, and I mean the brochures at the moment, well, there's a dramatic amount of sorting out needing doing. Now these are things called like Caravan Trade Journal. They were very, very useful. They started in the late 40s for the trade, printed by Caravan magazine at the time, and they have a wealth of information on this industry, which I'm really passionate about. So there's various magazines hanging around here, and it's something actually it's strange because, swear, I'll just put the camera down. Right, that's better. Right. What I was saying, yeah. Sorting out through the magazines, and I started writing for a magazine called Caravan Life, which was a Warner's magazine, well, Sangler Publications originally, and then Warner Publications bought them out, and I started writing for them in 1992. Did a series on classic caravans, edited liked what I did, and I started doing reviews on new caravans and used and industry stuff. Anyway, Caravan Life, they stopped Caravan Life and they changed it to Which Caravan, and Which Caravan then went to Caravan Buyer, I think, and Caravan Buyer went to Go Caravan, or it could have been the other way around, but they also bought another magazine out called Caravan Plus in the early 90s. They bought that out, so they've had about 6 Caravan magazines, and then they got Caravan Magazine. So it really is a case of really the fact is they had a lot of magazines, and they've settled with Caravan Magazine. So you know, you got all this sort of thing to sort out. So I've got my Caravan Buyers, quite a lot of stuff I wrote in a lot of these magazines anyway. So you know, let's have a look around again. I've got brochures as well. Well, they're not all up here, but these are sort of brochures here that have all got to be sorted out. Sprite Archives, Ethel's Archives, other stuff. A lot of stuff from Sam Alper, who started up Sprite Caravans. I got to know Sam the last few years of his life, and he told me lots of information, lots of stuff that I know he didn't tell anybody else. And he was really interested in what I did. So yeah, so that is this is it. This is how we're getting on. Now I'm going to put some more shelving in here as well, and as I say, down the middle here there's going to be shelving. Now the thing is, what I'm also going to say is now, as I say about social media, so it's a very quick one. Social media, somebody came on my Caravan Industry Expert Facebook page, and they were on about I'm not going to name any names, but they're on about this person said about eldest caravans and how they'd gone downhill and how it was down to the poor management of the last guy who was in charge, and went on and on and on about things that really were totally untrue. So I just said to this, I replied to said, look, this guy doesn't know very much, and then somebody else came along and put the 2 pennyworth in. But yeah, the last guy was the chairman, I think the chairman or whatever, of Eldis. I knew him well, and he'd turned Eldis around. Now this guy was saying that he hadn't. He'd run him in the ground, but it was totally untrue really. Because the new guy's only been there about 18 months, so he's not a chance to do anything. It takes 2 years before you make a real big difference. The problem is as well, I think getting rid of the Compass brand wasn't a good idea, but anyway, that's just my advice and my comments. The thing is, this comment that I then put at the end of this thing that this Facebook guy put on about this other Facebook guy had written was then screenshot and put onto Twitter, and I'm not going to mention this bloke at all, but let's put it this way: he's caused a lot of waves in in various caravan scenes, and now he's sort of in with the modern era of caravans at the present, and personally I think he'll do quite a bit of damage in some respects, but anyway, that's down to other people to find out. But he really ranted on about how I was tarnishing his reputation, but I know a lot of people that would, if they got a hold of him, they wouldn't be very happy. He's upset a lot of people, and now he's on a new path, so whether he'll upset people or not, I don't know. Basically, had a few of his friends chip in, saying that, you know, I'm no expert and all this, and give me a bit of chips, and I thought, well, shall I reply? And I didn't at all. I'd left it for about a week or two, actually. In fact, I'd forgotten all about it. And that's the reason really why I won't go on Twitter much. Yes, I put the odd things on Twitter, but I don't really like it, because I think Twitter can be a really nasty sort of bit of social media. I stick to Facebook mainly on there, and anybody who's got any problems, you can always get me on Messenger through the Caravan Industry Expert, which a lot of people do, wanting about the caravans, etc. So yes, an expert that was chosen by the industry, not by me. I was going to call this channel originally Jenkinson's Caravan World, because back in 1999 I was the only probably person writing about this, the leisure industry, that had their own website. Nobody else did. And that was done by a friend I'd helped out with a caravan, and he'd hit some really bad times, and I think he's died now, sadly. And he was sort of so grateful to what I'd done, and when he knew what I was doing, and when he knew what I did do with the books and that, he said, look, you know, he said, you need to be doing something about it, get a website up and running, and we did. And for years and years I ran the website. But anyway, true websites is, we've got to be kept up to date, and people came, people went. So, and I didn't want to be messing around with the website, so Facebook came along, so I've used that as a platform. But I should really have a website, I suppose. I don't know, you see what you think. But anyway, so yes, so originally this channel was going to be called Jenkinson's Caravan World, and sometimes I wonder if I should have just called it that, because expert sounds very big-headed, sounds a bit sort of, you know, you're up yourself a little bit, which I don't think I am. If I am, you tell me. You know, 50 odd years of following this industry, I must have learned something, and I've been very passionate about it. And I do see a lot of new people coming in, and that's great. But what I don't like is when they start coming out with things as though they were around at the time when they weren't even born. And you know, my fortunate part about things was when I joined this sort of industry, if you like, I met a lot of the old original writers like Tony Bradford, Barry Williams, Eric Fowler. These people you won't know now, but they were sort of, they were guys, they were mentors in the time, and a lot of the industry people like Sam Alper, Reg Dean, a lot of people that work for CI. I got to know these people. A lot of these people are now long gone, sadly. But you know, I was given things, I was given lots of inside information, hence why I write the books. I want to share that information, and I will not write anything there that I've just made up just to make a bit of a story. And some people have done that and come up with all sorts of things, some strange things, taken passages out of the book, out of some of the books, and moved them around a bit, and it just doesn't ring true at all. You know, because they've taken out the book, but there's lots of what I call closet readers of my books, really. People who will not admit to reading them because they don't want to admit to reading them. They don't want to admit that I've got a lot of knowledge, which I have, but I don't want to be big-headed about it. So I mean, a lot of people, and this again, I've told you about this before. A lot of people don't bother with me. That's, you might all think that, well, I'm not surprised. You're a funny so and so, but there are a lot of people that do, and you know, some people on other YouTubers will ignore me. I might get the odd little smile, but that's about it, and they all group together, and that's fine, because I don't really, you know, my YouTube channel, it is important. I can talk to people, I can't remember, but the magazine stuff, like, you know, the industry stuff in Park Home and Holiday Living and Practical Caravan. Those are the main things, really. But the YouTube is a further extension. And so it's another reason why I do the books, because I just really want to share the knowledge, and I want to get this industry's history down before it's forgotten, or somebody else comes along and completely misinterprets it all and feeds people a lot of duff information, which seems to be happening at the moment. And you know, and it just sounds like you're really being a bitch sort of thing by saying that, you know, no, that's not right, this is right, because it's, you know, I'd be the same myself. I just think, oh, he's a bit of a know-all. But anyway, I still continue to learn. I don't know everything, like some people say, oh, you think you know everything. And I say, no, you're right, I don't know everything. I'm still learning. I know a lot of things, but I'm still learning. And when I find something out, like when I've been going through all this lot, and I pick up a magazine and start reading, which is a fatal thing to do, because you never get nothing done. And what happens then, you start thinking, oh my goodness, I didn't know that, I didn't know this, I'll write that down, that'll go for the next book, or should have gone in the book of sort of 5 books ago. But that's how it is, you know, you cannot always get your fingers on the information that you need. Right, so sorry about this vlog. It was about the archives originally. I've gone way off a tangent, as per norm. And thank you again for all the comments that are coming. Trucker, who, he said, I've got a website, a YouTube channel, and I've just subscribed to it, Trucker, so I've subscribed to your channel, and I will have a look at it when I get time. And also people like Hey Ho Here We Tow, love a little family, like them, you know, and I'll always have time for people like them, and one or two others actually, in all fairness. But I don't like people that come on and start thinking they know everything, and they've only been at it a couple of years and they've no chance of ever knowing everything, and claiming they do. And again, I don't want to sound big-headed, but reading my books and then coming out with a version of what's already been put down in black and white, which is the correct version, and it's swayed around and moved around. So it does happen. But anyway, I'm getting out of breath here for some reason, I don't know why. Maybe because I'm just chattering too much. Anyway, as I say, thanks for all the comments, thanks for everybody that's been coming on. I think there's Anne, there's Julie, there's Paul's, there's a couple of Andrews, there's quite a lot of Andrews actually. Everyone seems to be coming out of the woodwork on Andrews. But do you know what, I'm getting some really, really good comments. Thanks very much, thanks for watching, and please keep watching the channel, and please share the videos, and please, if anybody hasn't subscribed, just press the button, because as all the others say, it don't cost you nothing, and it don't. Alright, thanks a lot for watching. Bye for now.